Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round one of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in May tournament qualifiers for Group B, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunman and Glacier Gaming. And we got 3 rounds of action, mayhem, and strategy coming your way today, ladies and gentlemen. But first and foremost, for those of you who aren't quite acquainted as to who I am, I'm RedEyes, your ever-lovable and adorably cuddly caster, bringing you that daily dosage of butt kickery, tomfoolery, and all-around shenaniganism. And as I said, 3 stacked rounds coming at you today. And just so we are clear, we got some heavy hitters in the mix. Let's go through them. We've got Nucleotide Vendetta, One Blood Esports, Third Eye, Apocalyptic Maniacs, Four Dragons, Zero Remorse, Brave, Control, Evolution Gaming, The Fierce, Road to Death, The Rude Dudes, Force Tijuana, Smartless Guess, Olympia Esports, The Sentinels, -7, Brawling Badness, Neptune Esports, and Anime #1, so I'm expecting action right off the bat. And for those of you who are acquainted with the RedEyes events, this is no new news, but we are going to be going by official PMPL scoring structure and kicking things off with, you guessed it, an Erangel. Now, what do we need to say about a map like Erangel? Well, essentially, it's the off-red love child of Sandhawk and Miramar, which does leave it, fairly reliant upon the flight path to determine what sort of early game we end up getting here. And now, this is the map that our participants should be the most acquainted with and feel the most comfortable on, just because it was the first map introduced to the game. But already, ladies and gentlemen, I'm seeing we could be getting some attention here on the eastern front, and it's going to be between the likes of the Rude Dudes, members of Anime #1, and as well as members of, it looks like Brave, just above them. And it looks like Brave will probably be heading towards that Milta Power area. Looks like Milta itself is going to belong to the Rude Dudes. Now, further off to our west, we see Pachinki potentially about to be contested here between members of Evolution Gaming and that's the Fierce. Yeah. So you know what? Let's go ahead and get into it and tune in. One. All right, so if you are just now tuning in, this is round one of my tournament. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel here. Now, I don't know why we're having this little bit of sound glitch, but, that's part of the nature of the game. PUBG Mobile does have its little quirks and tweaks here, but to be expected in a mobile game. All right, we already have Zeus going in after BB Richie off in the distance. Now, BB would be the likes of the Brawling Badness, so we're going to go tune in just to catch a brief glimpse, make sure we're not missing anything too important over there. All right, yep, we're hearing some shots. Yeah, Richie is revived, it looks like, but it's not without a cost. Blade and Tavi are all that remains to carry on the name. Richie's out of there. I withdraw my previous statement. Richie and Claw have been eliminated, and here we see Blade approaching the altercation up against members of Apocalyptic Maniacs, those responsible for eliminating half of his player base. Oh, but not seeing him right to his side, but look at that reaction time. The AK-47 is unforgiving. All right, here we go. He's not done with it yet. He still has Dark here to worry about. Dark showing up to the party at full health. That is going to definitely put Blade at a bit of a hindrance here. And now here's this false sense of security in the shack. Now, if he's lucky, his opponents won't have the opportunity to get any utilities. But look at him go. That's 2 takedowns, and revenge served out very quickly. However, Tavi, his only remaining teammate, has also been eliminated in the process, and this is going to further hinder Blade's ability to move forward if he's not able to escape this altercation or take on a 1v2. Health is available. He does have a first aid, but the ability to use it is going to be very difficult to implement here. But look at this nade. How could they not get away from it? Well, they did get away. It looks like Dark was able to move just in the nick of time, but he does take a heap of damage, being reduced down to about 2/3 of his overall health. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you all are aware, we're going to be doing those UC code giveaways. Don't worry about that. We will definitely be getting those going for you. However, as it currently stands, I'm going to focus on the match. And that is it for Blade right there and then. So, it looks like members of Apocalyptic Maniacs are going to carry forward as a 2-piece, but no time to waste, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Fierce and members of Evolution Gaming preparing for an altercation as we speak here, getting eyes on scrims, just eagerly awaiting any sort of push with an M4 M762 barrel, fully automatic combo with level 2 armor. He's looking in a pretty strong position here as he holds this porch top. All right. So it seems to be a waiting game currently between these two teams. And that does leave us with a tiny bit of a spread, ladies and gentlemen. But tiny spreads are to be expected, on larger maps, which are 2 out of the 3 maps that we're going to be working with today. So for the first time ever, I'm happy to introduce this. While we have a brief moment of downtime, let's go over the new format graphic as it currently stands. So we got 20 teams competing. And of these 20 teams, 4 actually are going to advance. That means we're going to run 3 rounds of qualifiers, so 12 qualified teams are going to face off against the 8 invited Tier 1 pro professional teams, where they're all going to duke it out for that $450 prize pool come the 31st. I hope y'all like that graphic. All right. Took me a while to update it, that's for sure, but we got it. All right. So, yeah, still a little bit of a waiting game between these two teams. Understandably so. Soka, using that 300 strategy, holds the stairway. With that, ooh, he's got himself a honey badger. Now, this is a gun that has been kind of a hot topic lately. It's got its lovers and it's got its haters for sure. I personally am a pretty big fan. I think that its lack of horizontal recoil is kind of nice. But Soka firing away with that honey badger. He is clearly probably a fan as well. Not getting much connecting damage there. And as I say that, I do see that Xenon is also taken down to about half health. Same for Kong, so it's not as if the damage isn't being done. It looks to be from the likes of 5Hype here. 5Hype taking a pretty heavy load of damage in retaliation. Oh boy, if my mic is not on. Okay, it is. Good, good. Hey, Hunter, how you doing, buddy? Thank you so much for being here, man. Thank you so much for always supporting and helping this event continue. Guys, be sure to follow Hunter of Gunman and Glacier Gaming. All right. Okay, well, the shots have been dished out. 5Hype and XDZ, all that remains now. It looks like Scrims has been taken down in the process. XDZ firing away from the porch top does secure the takedown onto Kong, and it looks like he's going to try to save his fallen teammate Scrims right here and now. Is it going to be a trade of revives? We'll have to wait and see. All right. Well, I think I'm going to switch over to Brave if this doesn't solve the question. Ooh, look at that beautiful takedown by XDZ. Just fish in a barrel for him. All right. Well, that's going to leave Kenny and Kenny alone. Oh, I withdraw that. Kenny and Kong. Kenny coming down from the rooftop here with a potential revive in mind, trying to get Xenon to get all the way to the staircase first. And he's going to go for a risky revive, which is going to leave Kong in charge of Overwatch and cover fire here. Let's catch eyes on from his perspective. Kong desperately just trying to heal himself up, but 5Hype does get the takedown on Kenny after all that with a utility, leaving Kong as the final hope here for Evolution Gaming. Oh boy, Kenny is pretty much done for. We can basically await his inevitable defeat here. But now, can Kong handle a 1v3 and dish out some overwhelming odds? Oh my goodness. Moment of truth. And Scrims doesn't seem a bit confused as to his opponent's location here. Oh my goodness. Well, while we have a brief moment, I think I'm going to just check the rest of the playing field, make sure we're not missing any other bits of action on the board. Ladies and gentlemen, there's still 54 people up, spread across 17 teams. We still have quite a bit of action ahead of us, but this does seem to be currently the closest thing to an altercation that we have at the moment. However, the zone has shifted, and as we know to be the nature of PUBG, as this zone progresses and shrinks, the dead zone is going to implement more and more damage, and the players are going to be left with less and less real estate to choose from and be forced to take on their altercations. Now, as you can see here, we're getting a little bit of congestion towards the center of zone already around this Yasnaya and outskirts area. And we got members of, let's see, we got Olympia Esports very close by, members of Sentinels just to their south. We also can see members of Control just to the west of Brave. Now, up in the Yasnaya area, we've got members of Four Dragons getting a little bit closer to anime number 1. You know what? Just for the sake of having this downtime, I'm going to go check in on JPack just to see what's happening. Get another angle here. It does look like this altercation in Pachinki is going to diffuse itself. So, let's go check in southbound at this little standoff here between members of Sentinels and Olympia Esports. We got Grizzly Bear firing away with an 8x Mini 14, aimed outwards at pardon me, I didn't see his name, Yogso, Oli OXO, OXXO. Well, minimal damage dished out there. Actually, it looks like he did get a couple of hits. However, XO is able to heal up and take on a fight already against the likes of Nucleotide Vendetta. So we're going to go catch eyes on them and switch to their perspective in this altercation. Take on a fight with Nucleotide, all the while taking that third-party damage from the likes of Sentinels. I'd say, as a three-piece, Nucleotide Vendetta's hanging in there pretty well. Now, let's just get a brief look-see at the map on the alt view here, just so we can keep an eye on what all's happening. As you can see, it does look like these boys are pretty close to something here, so let's catch eyes just for a brief moment. Yep, Betty closes up, and he gets naded on! Hellfire raining down upon him, and that boy is down for the count, leaving it on OXO and Tixie. Alright, we're hearing something in the distance. Oh, yep, it's more teammates here. Fetty is out for the count, and just like that, members of Olympia have been reduced down to a 2-piece. Keep in mind, they only started off as a 3, so they came in at a pretty immediate disadvantage. Now, let's see. Here's where it all gets a little bit more interesting. We've got members of Sentinels here firing away southbound at their opponents in Olympia Esports, but here comes another threat in the shape of One Blood Esports coming in from the north, and Reed Dog already awaiting a push. However, One Blood catching attention from another team to their north. That's going to be more than likely off to the west from members of Four Dragons, but shots fired at Mr. Joker from Reed Dog, dealing out a significant load of damage. Unfortunately for him, not quite enough to finish the job and get the knock. Control working on Brave off in the distance. I'll tell you what, we will catch a brief glance at that on the alt cam. What do you guys think of this alt view? Is it worth keeping around? Let me know. All right. Zara firing away. That's the finish off in the side view. Nicely done. All right. We're going to get that off the screen here and keep eyes one fight at a time for the moment. We don't want to overwhelm ourselves here. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Off in the distance on the outskirts of zone, we got a standoff between members of SSG. This is Smartless Guess and their opponents in... Oh, that's going to be members of the Fierce. Now, Scrims and the Fierce definitely have a low ground disadvantage here. And Vortex looking like he tries to take advantage of this right here and now. He's got the geographical high ground. Now, this is great for several reasons. Not does he only have this great overwatch to see the entirety of his opponent's options, but also if he is knocked, he's going to be out of the line of sight of the Fierce from a Thirst. All right, well, Evolution Gaming going at it in the distance, and I think we might catch eyes on that. We'll pull this back up on the alt view in just a brief moment. But for now, let's catch eyes on what remains of Evolution Gaming, which is Kong, as he is wrecked apart right there and then. Bye-bye, Kong. All right, well, we'll go back to the other fight then. Actually, we'll go catch eyes on One Blood as they prepare to face off against -7. Oh, Slayer OP taking a heap of damage right there. He's lucky to be alive. Definitely dished out some significant damage to not just his health, but his armor as well. And here comes that inevitable push. Tell you what, -7 has not had very much screen time, if any, so far today. So far, they are competing as a three-piece. All the while, AN1 going off in the distance. Let's catch eyes on AN1 on the alt lane. All right, whatever AN1 was facing off against, it is over. But Jaw wrecked out of the vehicle by the play zone? Great point to illustrate. I say it every time, ladies and gentlemen, but especially in a RedEyes event. If you're familiar with my events, you know it. All the zone damages are boosted, zone speed boosted. And I don't care what tier you play at, nobody, and I mean nobody, has a higher KD than that blue zone. All right. Well, Draco trying to carry on the name for -7. Alrighty, what else is happening on the playing field? A little bit of a spread, but as you can see, we might be getting a little bit of action coming in shortly. We're hearing shots, but I'm a little more concerned here with potential altercation between the likes of One Blood and their opponents in a Zero Remorse off in the distance. So I think that's what I'm going to get eyes on the main screen, just for now. Zero Remorse. We've got Jade Sun from utilities here, aimed outward at One Blood, just one house over. All right, well, there's the finish. And that is going to be a good start for Zero Remorse. Now with 4 kills to their name. No time to waste. Let's get eyes on Peaceful. The last hope for Third Eye. That Third Eye has been shut and is closed completely. Closed for a long sleep. At least until round 2 coming up next. But what is our next bit of action going to be? Where's our next altercation going to come from? I'm going to catch eyes once again on the current 2-piece of Olympia Esports as Tixie just makes it rain bullets on his opponents in Nucleotide Vendetta. No time to celebrate. And if you saw the post on social media, I guess the new TikTok and actually, I guess it would just be a YouTube short for the day. I didn't even upload it to TikTok, but there is no time to celebrate in my event because the second you do, you're like to be taken out. All right, so I kind of agree with this, what Olympia is doing here. Just holding down position with these 4 walls of cover. Now, granted, this zone has shifted, and they are going to be forced to migrate regardless of how good of a position this may or may not be. But they do give themselves a little bit more time to acquire some placement. And as a 2-piece, I wouldn't hope to see them on the all-out aggressive. It just seems to be, you know, the numbers aren't in their favor. So you want to increase your odds of placing and advancing to the $450 finals as best as possible. It's best not to hinder your odds in the first round. Thank you guys so much for being here. Shamar, what's up? Nope, the code is not dropped yet, but it's coming at you, brother, and I will get it going very shortly. Let me actually get the website pulled up here for you guys. Oh, wow. All right, we're going to pin that. Actually, oh, sorry about that map being up, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Well, we got more action. No time to waste. Let's catch eyes on these last bits of altercations. Nucleotide Vendetta as a two-piece of Axar and Leo facing off against Zero Remorse, a three-piece here. So, slight disadvantage for them, but we also have other fights here on the board as members of Team 15, FDJ, this is Force Tijuana, face off against the Rude Dudes. We're going to catch eyes on that with the alt view. And, ooh, Leo just holding position here. Axar doing the same. Now, ooh! That is going to be a tough one here for Nucleotide. And just like that, Axar is out of the equation. That's going to leave everything reliant on Leo firing away with that AK-47 and quickly dealt with right there and then. Guys, we are down to 7 teams spread across 20 people here. We're going to catch eyes on, Wingless is very much living up to his name. Those wings have been clipped right there. And then we got Zero Remorse carrying on as a full 4-piece with 6 kills to their name. Couldn't be in a much stronger position with having the 4 walls of cover along with being a full 4-piece come in-game. Well, Rude Dudes are down to one last Rude guy. That's Manny. His teammates Zeus and Bangu have been knocked, and Bangu quickly eliminated. Zeus soon to follow. And Manny going to try to carry on as a sneaky little grass snake in this last ending portions of round 1. All right. Let me go ahead and get it going, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've been patient as all get out. Here is the 600 UC code. 600 UC code, ladies and gentlemen. Click on the link at the top of the YouTube feed to go redeem it. The first one to redeem it will get it. All right, bringing it down here. We're going to go switch our attention briefly. Oh, actually, you know what? We're going to get a bird's eye view here. Oops. I said we're going to get a bird's eye view, ideally. All right, here we got it. Zara going in on AN1 from the distance, but ooh, gets the first on what's his name? Oh, Zara up against an outnumbered handicap fight. Got Christian in front of him and still gets the takedown with the Groza. Quickly needing to heal up, leaving a lot of the pressure here on Grizzly Bear, who's definitely taking the attention off of his teammate with that vehicle, firing away at AN1, wasting no time, but actually damaging his Bugatti in the process. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a love triangle. 3 teams spread across 11 people. We got an almost fair fight here. Reed Dog knocks Zara responsible for 4 of the team's 6 kills. Sorry about that, ladies and gents. All right, well, Zhang Hu, last one up for AN1. And luckily for him, all the attention seems to be on Reed Dog, who's just trying to enshroud himself in a cloud of smoke. All right. Well, I'm assuming that those codes have been redeemed by now, so we're going to get that off the screen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the final calm before the storm. Let's get it going. One more air horn. I love that air horn. Oh boy, Zara is in a world of hurt here, potentially in some serious trouble. Just trying to cling to what bits of cover you can. And this goes to exemplify a great point, ladies and gentlemen. Come in game, when geographical cover can become sparse, few, and far between, that's when it comes to really utilizing the utility cover if it's available to you. Everything helps come in game. All right. Zara with a utility nade aimed outward at Jadeson, just falling a little bit short of the mark, leaving Risley Bear and Reed Dog behind as Zara takes majority of the focus, it seems like, up until Reed Dog got in a hot pink vehicle. But yes, Zara is quickly eliminated from the equation. So now we have ourselves, just like that, the last member of AN1 is out there. We got ourselves a 2v3, a 1v3 as it's all on Reed Dog now in a risky vehicle push. And ladies and gents, oh my goodness, any way you look at it, that has got to be game over. But what a game it was. To kick things off, I will say that the Group B players are not messing, but we got to give it up to Zero Remorse. Yes, they played it a little bit of a slower aim at it, but it paid off, and boy, did it pay off in spades, as they take first place with, count them up, 12 kills. And wow, honestly, 7 of those 12 going to Jadeson. That's an impressive, heavy backpack, but a great effort all around. We got members of Sentinels securing second place, and that's going to be with 9 kills, 5 of which go to Zara. Let's see. Yes, that is Sentinels. Okay, AN1 going to be anime number 1 in third place, getting that third place bronze medal with 9 kills, 7 of which are between Christian and what's his name. The folks in Brave going to be taking fourth place with 3 kills. All 3 go to Tippa. We got the Rude Dudes in 5th, and that's going to be with 4 kills, half of which go to Manny. 6th place is going to go to the folks in Olympia Esports as a 3-piece with 2 kills to their name. We got AXM coming in 7th place. AXM is going to be the Apocalyptic Maniacs, and they're going to be doing that with 5 kills between Wingless and Zeus. 8th place belonging to Nucleotide Envy, entering as only a 3-piece, but not able to quite secure any kills to their name, unfortunately enough. Let me get this UC code off so you can see the scores. We got Smartless Guess here. Sorry about that burp. Smartless Guess in 7th place, or 9th place here, with 0 kills to their name. We got members of Force Tijuana coming in 10th place with 1 kill, and that's from Pardo. The 4 Dragons in 11th, they're going to be taking that with, let me go ahead and just say I don't need to be on the screen here at all. They're going to be taking 11th with 1 kill. That's going to come from Matoto. The -7 in 12th place with 0 kills to their name, unfortunately. Speaking of 3-pieces, we got Third Eye entering as, ironically enough, a 3-piece, but 0 kills to their name. We got the folks in One Blood securing 14th with 1 kill from Mr. Joker. The Fierce going to be securing 15th. That's going to be with 3 kills between 5 Hype and XDZ. We got Evolution Gaming in 16th with 2. Control in 17th with 3 kills coming from Moto. And BB, that is going to be the Brawlin' Badness in 18th place with 2 kills, both of which came from Blade. Well, alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude round 1 of 3, but that was just the very first map ever of Erangel. That's the one that was first introduced to the game and the one that our participants are absolutely supposed to be the most familiar with. But I am curious what's going to happen when we take things to a different environment. I am talking, of course, about that open, dry, arid desert of Miramar as we return for round 2 of 3 of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in May tournament qualifiers for Group B, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunman and Glacier Gaming in just a few short moments. Stick around, we'll be back soon. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back. We are back. That is right. It is going to be round two. I said it's going to be round two of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in May tournament qualifiers for Group B, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunmen and Glacier Gaming. We are kicking off round two, as you guessed it, a Miramar. What do we need to say about a map like Miramar? Essentially, it's the largest map that we have in the game. Now, technically, Erangel is also an 8x8, but that also includes all of those bodies of water in Erangel. So realistically, this map is slightly larger, meaning that the odds of two teams landing next to each other are just going to be a bit slimmer, but it's also the most open map that we have, so the odds of you being sniped from 300 meters away is exponentially higher. But here we see the flight path. It is a very ideal one for the participants, about as centralized as possible, which is going to leave quite a few drop options open for numerous reasons. And I say this every single event, but the biggest reason I find that Miramar kind of stands out is because of this path from Campo Militar all the way down to prison, leaving two strings of channels of cities on either side. Now, this flight path almost perpendicularly intersects it, so it's going to leave almost all those drop options still available to these participants. Now, already we got Nucleotide Envy landing in the Los Leones area. Off at Impala, we got Rude Dudes. Brave going to be somewhat in between the two. Let's go ahead and zoom in just a little bit. Catching eyes, we can see members of Control getting a little close to members of Force Tijuana, as well as the Badness. A little further up, other members of Control with the Maniacs, the Apocalyptic Maniacs. Let's go ahead and tune into that to kick things off. We don't need to see that twice. Welcome back to round two. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And by the way, those UC codes are not quite there yet. That is just me testing out the new overlay for it. Yep, and we do have Control already going off in the distance. Let's catch a brief eye. I believe that was Cuffy. Yeah, Cuffy getting the first takedown for the team, and he's already got more opponents here nearby. Let's see. That's going to be the opposition in Brawlin' Badness. All right. Ooh, off you can see just in the outskirts of this map on the top right, you've got another threat. That's Force Tijuana coming in from the north. Definitely going to have to keep their eyes open for that. But as we can see all too easily, the more immediate threat here is going to be this member of the Brawlin' Badness. Wow, come on. There we go. It's going to be Blade holding position here at this staircase with an M762 barrel. Oop, all his teammates having at it with other members of Force Tijuana here. It's, as you can see, Richie coming to collect what is due to him off of his knock on Bellicon. He wants that thirst, and I don't see any real threat to him securing that at the moment. His teammate Blade, a little bit more in a predicament. Now, Richie has a bit of a decision to make. Does he go here to take the time to secure this thirst, or does he go to assist his teammate? Well, Olympia Fetty having a little bit of a rough go to start off his match, and actually looks like all of Olympia is having a rough go, as they are already eliminated from the equation. Now we have a tiny spread. Oop, that is just a thirst right there. And other members of the Brawlin' Baddies eliminated. So Blade and Claw are out of there, leaving everything reliant on Richie and Tavi from now on. We're going to switch our attention to another half-depleted team, Force Tijuana, which at this point is reliant upon Vero, 77K, and Pardo. Looks like Bellicon and Ramito have been eliminated very early on, which means that members of Force Tijuana, much like the opposition we were just speaking about, are going to have to dial things back. I don't want to say to an all-out reserve standpoint, but they're going to have to play things a little bit more cautiously. All right, catching eyes on Vero, who's got a bit of a watch on the full force of Control. All right. So, where is the next bit of blood gonna be? Well, you know what? While we play this waiting game, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go over the current format. We did it once in round one, but if you're just now tuning in, we got 20 teams competing, and of those 20 teams, we're actually going to have 4 advanced because we run 3 rounds qualifiers instead of 4. So that's going to be 12 qualified teams plus the 8 invited professional tier 1 teams, where they're all going to duke it out on the 31st for that proverbial $450 prize pool. And that's a takedown on Cuffy by Pardo, Vero77K's teammate. So they got themselves in a little bit better odds here in a 2v3 at this point with Cuffy down. Now they are going to have to deal with the utility cover being thrown onto Cuffy, and Brick looking like he might even be able to secure a revive on his fallen teammate, going to exemplify the importance of utilities on a map as open as Miramar. Well, there's that VSS, and the benefit of the VSS, as we all know, is that those shots are not easy to hear where they're coming from. However, Vero, with 10 bullets remaining, does dish out quite a bit of damage to Moto, and now he's going to try to finish what he started here with a utility nade. Actually, it's going to be aimed outwards at a Thirst on him, and he does get it! He gets the takedown on Quit and the Thirst on Cuffy. Beautiful 2 birds, 1 stone. And revenge served out. All right. Well, Pardo, the last hope of Force Tijuana. He is the last one. And rather than bowing out of this 1v2/1v3 altercation, he's aimed outwards, looking like he's trying to make it so Brick and his other teammate, Moto, are not able to acquire the revive on their fallen teammate. Now, this is a risky play here because Pardo has a chance to carry on with some placement points for his team. Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we are working with the PMPL scoring structure, which means one thing in particular is that eliminations are going to be a bit higher emphasis than the previous scoring structure, and placement is going to be less so. So, while placement does still have a role in these events, though, let's not get it twisted. Placement still definitely has a role, and there is something to be said about staying alive towards endgame and getting those couple of placement points versus taking on an altercation in a handicap match. This is a tough call. Well, it's not. It's not a tough call. It's a risky call that he's doing. But aiming outwards, Brick, as we have seen, has been revived, and Pardo doesn't seem to be letting off the gas. All right, elsewhere on the map, do we have anything else to keep eyes on? Well, let's zoom in. Little bits of potential confrontations, but as you can see, Pardo is the closest thing to an opposition, at least that I can see right now. Yep, little bits of a spread, as to be expected with large maps, and as we said, ladies and gentlemen, large maps are 2 out of the 3 that we're going to be working on. And Pardo now dipping on out of dodge and is going to put a little more emphasis on placement here after all. He got a 2nd and 3rd chance at life there, but in front of him is another threat in the shape of the apocalyptic maniacs. All right. One moment. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is gonna be that time. Time for what, RedEyes? Well, bam, that UC code giveaway. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Redeem at the link at the top of the YouTube chat feed. It is all caps CJPQZDMZ4H5. Now, as we can see, AN1 going off in the distance, we are going to catch eyes right here and now. But ladies and gentlemen, do not miss out on your opportunity here to claim your free 600 UC codes. All right. where's the next bit of action going to come from? Lots of downtime here. Well, I tell you what, we're going to catch eyes on Nucleotide Envy, who is now a full 4-piece team, much to their own chagrin here. We got Ghost, Leo, Axar, and Kabir. And while I thought they might be close to a potential altercation, it does not look to be the case after all. So we're going to switch upwards to the Axiom Maniacs, who are just above the final hope for the opposition in Team 15, Force Tijuana, which is Pardo. All right. Tell you what, why not catch it from his angle? Oh, wow, just outside of zone. The final hope of Smartless Guest was eliminated by Powerless of One Blood, proving that he is anything but what his name implies. All right, where should we tune into here? Lots of space. Lots of open space. Yeah, here we go. We got One Blood about to be in the mix here with Vayne or Zangu of AN1, anime number 1. Oh, it's both. It's both Zangu, and what's his name? Oh, man. Just so I can get a little bit better of an idea here. Sorry about that. We're going to just see how far away they are from the opposition. Oh, man. Slayer and Joker. Oh, I like what One Blood is doing here, ladies and gentlemen. I really like what One Blood is doing here. It's a 2-1 split. And now this is a perfect example of that BOA method that I was always talking about. And I don't know what the official terminology is, but I coined it the BOA method. It's essentially a 1-1-1-1 split, a 2-2 split, or a 3-1 split where the teams will simultaneously surround the opposition and simultaneously constrict upon them. Now that is great for numerous reasons. It's got the advantage of giving multiple perspectives on the opposition, but also can catch the opposition unawares and add that panic factor. Now here you can see it not panning out quite so well as AN1 knows how to handle in the high tense situations. All right, we are going to switch briefly to -7. Once again, carrying on as a 3-piece. They started as a 3-piece this round as well. They are closest to members of Third Eye, but if you'll notice, Third Eye is rolling with a very, very heavy hitter here on their team. It's going to be Jat G, known for being on the starting team of the hit list. All right. Well, I think we're going to catch eyes on Control, and particularly on the Quit of Control, because he's closest to members of Sentinels. But goodness gracious, we have hardly lost anybody, ladies and gentlemen. We still have 55 people up across 16 teams. So quite a bit of altercation and fights lay ahead of us. Now we can see Quit is getting a little bit closer in onto his opponent. So we're going to catch it from both sides here. We got a perspective of Sentinel as well as Control. Grizzly Bear closest up to the opposition. Tell you what, I want to try something. Nice, that is sick. All right, you can see through it. Perfect. Now that is using my noggin. So we're going to catch eyes briefly just to see what else is happening. Yeah, Control is just so close. but we might have other altercations preparing in the distance. I believe I heard some shots out in the distance between... Oh yeah, we got the fierce Toka about to get in the mix with members of 4 Dragons if he's not too careful. Thank you guys so much for being here and supporting. Don't forget, anybody can register at discord.gg/redeyes. That's discord.gg/redeyes. All right. We can hear these shots from the 4 Dragons, but it's not amounting to much at all. I haven't seen any damage being dealt off on either feed here, so I'm going to get a little bit of a bird's eye view. Hey, and there it is, Third Eye's Chief going in the distance. Toka really tempting fate here. All right, all the while, Evolution Gaming getting pretty close to members of the Fierce. Tell you what, we're going to switch it. Oh, boy. I was about to say we're going to switch it out. Oh, the nade almost finishing Toka right out of the equation, but not quite enough to settle the score. Molly's being thrown out in retaliation, falling extremely short of the mark, but off in the distance, Control is doing some work. We're going to catch eyes briefly. Control as a 3-piece. Well, Jack G off in the distance. Spotted by the fiercest Soka, but really, he should not be engaging in that. All right, the Scrims trying to catch the off angle, catch them unawares. It might be a boa tactic by the likes of Fear. I want to see if it is. Yep, 5 hype with a low ground disadvantage is going to face the consequences of it as the 4 Dragons get the takedown. That's going to leave us all relying on XDZ, Scrims, and Toka. That XDZ shooting for a retaliation with that 6x M4 aimed outward, but not getting the connecting damage that he needed. Definitely needs to account for some meds, and he's going to boost up right here and now. Scrims coming up closer, but the -7 coming in from behind. Tell you what, we're going to get a bird's eye view on the alt cam. All right, we're hearing DBS is going off in the distance. It's going to be the likes of A&1, but look here. 4 Dragons coming in. We got F-Boy. J-Pack coming in as well. Oh, Risley Bear from Sentinels with a monster nade. And J-Pack with a high ground over the Fierce. Can he utilize this? We're going to get the alt view as well. Bird's eye view over it. Ladies and gentlemen, all-out bloodbath warfare from this point on, and that's a finish on Asaka. All right. Matoto holding position in this standoff against the -7. He's got Draco right next to him, but Draco taken out by a teammate of the 4 Dragons, Matoto. Nice, lucky for him. But you know who might not be so fortunate? Is his other opposition swimming in a pool of Dragon members. Come on. I'm trying to switch out. I'm not really sure what's happening here. Tell you what, we're not going to risk it. Scrims is the one who was there, but he's just going to be holding position, understandably so. But you know who's having a tough time? It's going to be the Fierce. They have 3 kills to their name, and they are still a full 4-piece, but with 1 member knocked. So it's not the easiest go of them, but we have Peaceful pushing up to the altercation against Evolution Gaming, actually potentially even playing a little cautiously and falling back a little. Now keep in mind, Evolution Gaming does have a high ground advantage over them. However, Evolution is the deli meat in a peanut butter and truffle sandwich because they've got members of Apocalyptic Maniacs just behind them. Now, that is Lord Fick being immediately wrecked into and looks like a quick thirst to follow, potentially. Kenny trying to enshroud his fallen teammate in a cloud of smoke, but not a whole lot of luck. Kong able to retaliate with a knock of his own. Will they be able to truly capitalize on it? Let's find out. Go. And it's a takedown on Zeus right there and then. Nicely done, and no time to waste, no time to celebrate. Kong taking retaliatory damage as revenge is dished out cold and fast. All the while, we can hear just bullets raining down around us. All right, we've got Xenon holding position for his teammate. Kenny taken down to half health. Off in the distance, Matoto wrecked into in a vehicle knock. And Kun Jaedon of Third Eye going to try to secure a thirst on it. All the while, the Axiom Maniacs, the Apocalyptic Maniacs here in this altercation with Evolution Gaming, with Jat G taken down, it is going to be a tough one for the Fierce to come back from. Kenny taking a lot of damage in the process, though. Trying to secure a little bit of cover here behind this vehicle. And that goes to exemplify a great point, ladies and gentlemen, in a map as open as Miramar. Having what little bits of cover you can afforded to you is just an imperative difference maker between life and death. And when geographical cover can become few and far between, if you're running low on utilities, those vehicles can be an absolute lifesaver. All right, well, Apocalyptic Maniacs down to Noof, Wingless, and Dark, and Noof awaiting an inevitable push. All the while, we can hear just shots being dished out left and right. We're going to catch eyes on Noof's teammate, Wingless, on the alt screen. Wingless just running a little bit closer to members of Anime Number 1 to his south. All right, yep, Evolution having a rough go. It's going to be down to Kenny here. We're going to catch eyes on Kenny's perspective just for this bit while he is dealing with multiple teams here. He's got the Apocalyptic Maniacs injured in front of him, and the Fierce not far off. And here we have it. Oh, Jadeson, the last hope, one of two remaining hopes for Zero Remorse, the winners of round one. It's Menace and Jadeson here, holding their own as a two-piece up against a full four-piece of Nucleotide Vendetta. Jadeson coming in aggressively outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned, taking the attention off of his teammate Menace, who was able to use this opportunity to get closer to the mix. However, in doing so, he did shoot from a low ground disadvantage and is suffering the consequences of it. It's all reliant on Jadeson, who now has to worry about Third Eye coming in from the other angle from beneath them. Jadeson is in a world of trouble here. All the while, Anime Number 1 putting in work in the distance, getting a takedown on the Fierce. Oh my god. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, bro. All right. Ooh! Monster nade raining on him by Leo of Nucleotide Vendetta, and that is going to be it for the likes of Zero Remorse. They won round one, and they got some pretty darn good placement in round two. So we're down to our final three teams, ladies and gentlemen, spread across 8 people. It's going to be Nucleotide Envy, Anime Number 1, and the Fierce, in 4v3v1 to end round 2. We got Ghost firing outwards of Zhangzhou. Zhangzhou, the last hope for AN1, and utilizing what geographical cover and utility cover is afforded to him. Coming up and getting the off angle on Kabir, who was not expecting Zhangzhou to make a risky play like that. All right. It looks like he might be in need of some supplies, but no real time to collect them. Why? Because you still have multiple members of Vendetta right here. Well, he's going to go for it. Tell you what, we'll get bird's eye view here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our final 3 teams all in the picture here. I'm going to go ahead and take this off of that blending mode. I think we might just keep it like this. All right, Nade's being cooked up by Zhang. You got to give him credit. As a solo, he has kept the name alive for anime number 1. And boy, did anime number 1 ever put in work. They were definitely on the All right, here we have it. Boom Jadon finishing off Ghost. Ooh, Zhangzu eliminated right then and there. And now it's 2 teams remaining, ladies and gentlemen. Nucleotide Envy is relying all upon Axar, who's down to 2 first aids, desperately trying to get a first aid off. He does so successfully. It's a 1v3. Aiming outwards at Peaceful. He does secure the knock, but ooh, in doing so, he gave his location away. And like sharks in the water, the boys and girls in the Fierce capitalized and did so beautifully. Ladies and gentlemen, any way you are left to look at it, that has got to be game over, and we've got to give it up for Third Eye. I mean, I have that little corny pun of the third eye being closed. I used that in round 1, but those eyes are wide awake here in round 2. They learned their lesson from round 1 and came in so aggressively in round 2 and did so beautifully, incorporating a heavy hitter. Jet G, as we all know, is a phenomenal player, but let's take notice of what Third Eye did here. Jet G probably going to be a bit of a focal point for the opposition, and if they are seeing him in the kill feed and seeing him in the visible line of sight, it's like that they would focus on him. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened here, but Third Eye, regardless, you can't discredit them because 12 of their 13 kills came from their starting base. Very nicely done, and a gold medal first place finish. We got Nucleotide Vendetta coming in second this time around, and doing so with 9 kills. Pretty evenly distributed. Members of anime number 1 carrying on thanks to Zhangzu, but goodness knows, not without putting up some heavy numbers of their own. They'll be taking home that 3rd place bronze medal for round 2, but doing so with 12 kills. Zero Remorse, our first place contenders in round 1, I guess first place winners. They tasted the chicken in round 1, and they were very hungry for a second helping, but it is not happening. But they still get some good placement with a 4th place finish and 4 kills between Caleb and Menace. We got Evolution Gaming securing 5th with 5, and 4 of those 5, 80% of those kills came from Kenny alone. We got members of the Apocalyptic Maniacs grabbing 6th place this time around and with 2 kills to their name. Force Tijuana in 7th with 2. 8th place is going to belong to the Boys and Girls and 4 Dragons with 3 kills. The Fierce coming in 9th, but with 1 kill from Scrims. We got 10th place going to Brave, and that's going to be with 6 kills, 4 of which are from Banga. We got the Brawlin' Badness in 11th place with 2 kills, both of which came from Richie. Control in 12th place with 3. 13th this time around is going to go to the crew in Sentinels. And unfortunately, with only 2 tags to their name, they're not going to be scored. But Grizzly Bear responsible for both of those kills. We got the -7 in 14th with 0. One Blood coming in 15th with 0. Keeping up that trend. We got the Rude Dudes in 16th with 0. Smartless Guess entering as a 2-piece. Also not able to be scored, but they didn't waste their time by entering as a 2-piece. By doing this, they made sure that they're not disqualified and banned from Dead in June. And last place is going to go to the Olympia Esports crew. Once again, as a team of 3, 0 kills to their name. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is 2 rounds down and struck out of the way. But we've seen our participants on the very first map ever of Erangel, the one they're supposed to be most familiar with. Then we took things to that dry, wide open, and arid desert, the largest map in the game of Miramar. But I'm curious what's going to happen when we conclude this qualifier event in that lush condensed forest. I am, of course, speaking of the jungles of Sandhawk as we return for our third and final round of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in May tournament qualifiers for Group B, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunmen and Glacier Gaming in just a few short moments. Stick around, we'll be back soon. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that format. Welcome back to our third and our final round of the day of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in May tournament qualifiers for Group B, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunman and Glacier Gaming. And we're kicking off our third and final round, as you guessed it, that lush, condensed forest of Sandhawk. Now, what do we need to say about a map like Sandhawk? Well, essentially, it's going to be the exact opposite of our last match. Our last match, which was Miramar, our largest map, this is going to be the smallest map. Now, technically, Livik and Karakin, and now the newer map, Noosa, all smaller than Sandhawk, but we haven't been messing with those too much in the esports scene. So, this is going to be the smallest map that we're working with today, meaning that the odds of two teams landing next to each other is just automatically going to be a bit higher. But keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, it is also the most condensed map that we have in the game. Now, what do I mean when I say condensed? I mean most lush in vegetation. There's more natural cover to take, more grass to hide inside, and trees and boulders to hide behind. So you need to be alert for a higher than average number of snakes than usual. And the third and final thing I want to say is that this map is so small that it finds itself very opposite of Miramar in that it's almost independent of the flight path, meaning that you can get pretty much anywhere you want just by deploying your chute early enough. And already we got some early jumpers as members of Force Tijuana head northbound alongside members of what looks to be apocalyptic maniacs, and potentially off to the east we can see members of Zero Remorse jumping northbound alongside the opposition of Evolution Gaming. Yep, and we already are getting some action right off the bat here as -7 once again, as a three-piece, getting involved in the action. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. No time to waste. Sorry about that. That UC code is not quite yet time for that yet, but stick around. We will be giving away that final 600 UC code in just a few short minutes. All right, firing away. We got Asuka with an M249. Tell you what, we'll get a couple altercations in the mix. We've got the Brawl and Badness facing off against A&1 off in the distance. Asuka takes on this fight. He is quickly just shredded apart. No time to waste, though. We're going to get the alt view going on here. Two views in the same fight. Alright, well, the Brawl and Badness holding position at the moment. Not really given a lot of opportunity for, pardon me, this is not too into the same fight at all. Off in the distance, we were looking at Brawl and Badness and A&1 at Camp Bravo. Here we have, in boot camp, One Blood up against the opposition of the Rude Dude. All the while, Evolution and Nucleotide having at it in the distance. There's so many fights going off on the board. It's all out bloodbath warfare right now. All right, revives going all around. And it looks like Evolution Gaming is going to carry on successfully as a full four-piece. Now, look at this. The last Rude Dude left. It's all reliant on the god himself, Mr. Zeus. And Zeus has been struck down and out. That is going to be it for the Rude Dudes. Better get polite and learn your manners for next time. But, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you think I don't hear how corny these jokes sound, I love it. I love the corniness. Every dad joke opportunity that I can get, I'm going to take advantage of. And if you cringe, I'm going to know, and it's going to make me that much happier. All right, well, Brawl and Badness, a bit of an altercation here with Ricky taken down, leaving it reliant on Tavi and Short Boss, but Tavi quickly going down to join his fallen teammate. Boy, Short Boss giving up what sort of fight he can, but not enough. It's all reliant on Claw, who's trying to carry on as a solo. What just happened there? Claw just taking the damage, just swallowing the bullets. I think he just said, "Here, thirst me." Not really sure what the deal with that was, but all right, we're gonna go check in on the rest of the map. Do we have any potential altercations? Yeah, we got members of Brave getting a little bit closer. Yep, we have an altercation in the works, all right. It's going to be Brave versus members of Force Tijuana. We're going to get both angles of the fight up here. The solo firing from an overwatch position on the cliff at members of Brave, and it's hitting Tippa pretty fiercely. No pun intended. Venga taking quite a bit of damage as well. And now look here, ladies and gentlemen, Pardo being shot at as well, taking damage. Alright, well, Force Tijuana is going to go off. That is going to be their first takedown. Let's switch it to their perspective here. They're all a little bit spread out here. Oh boy, here we go. Jat G of the hit list, filling in for the Fierce. He heard me say their team name, and he came in ready to live up to the hype. And they are working on those 4 dragons, taking them out dragon by dragon. And Jat G actually taking a little bit of retaliatory damage from behind from F-Boy. All right, Control coming in off AN1 in the distance. We'll catch eyes on the alt cam for that. And yep, Coon J Don of Third Eye able to do some more damage, taking out another dragon. That's F-Boy, which is going to leave Hoist in a bit of a conundrum here. So we're going to catch eyes on Hoist and J-Pack, the final 2 hopes. 2 dragons remaining. And Hoist trying to hold position in this compound and stay out of the line of sight of the Third Eye crew. Looks like we might be getting something else forming here as the Apocalypta Maniacs prepare to square off. Yep, we got Zeus. Once again, he heard those shots in the distance from Third Eye and tries to slowly creep his way in. Now, if there's ever a map that you might be able to really sneak up on your opponent on, it's going to be Sandhawk. Remember what I said, it's so lush in vegetation and there's natural cover to be had almost everywhere. So even if you find yourself without those 4 walls of compound cover or without the boulders, that really isn't going to be that imperatively bad of a situation, because you can still go prone almost relatively anywhere on this map and at least have some geographical cover in the high grass. All right. J-Pack of the 4 dragons perched at, he's a sneaky little grass snake. And this is going to exemplify the point I just made. Natural cover to be had almost everywhere. Chief of Third Eye, not fooled for a moment. He knows that the Apocalyptic crew is out there. Now, let's just have a quick look at the format while we have a moment of downtime in case you missed the first or second matches. We got 20 teams competing in the Dead Month qualifiers, and of those 20 teams, 4 teams are actually going to advance because we ran 3 rounds of qualifiers, which equates to 12 qualified teams, plus the 8 invited Tier 1 professional teams, where they're all going to duke it out for that $450 prize pool on May 31st. And just so we are clear, everything is standard PMPL scoring structure. So, what should we be getting eyes on? Let's have a look-see. A little bit of a spread. Now, while it is less common on, maps like Sandhawk, it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. This is still PUBG at the end of the day, but Pippa, using that boulder cover, is able to catch members of Force Tijuana off guard, but he is outnumbered, outmanned, outgunned. Still able to get the takedown, but not until he does... not until he does get the takedown is the zone going to go show its face to him and take him out of the equation in retaliation. No one has a higher KD than that blue zone. Boy, that could have been worded a little more efficiently. What are words, ladies and gentlemen? All right, where should we be looking? I think we're going to go tune in. Okay, so just to the south, we got members of Olympia trying to escape the clutches of the 4 dragons, which is interesting enough. Oh, I can take it back. They are trying to clean the 4 dragons out of the map, and it looks like they have got it down to 1 dragon remaining, potentially, or is that no dragons? It's going to be 1 dragon in the shape of Hoist. But as much as I would like to stay tuned into here, we have a potential altercation between OneBlood and Apocalyptomaniacs brewing in the distance. But just in case it doesn't happen, just in case, I do want to keep eyes on the Fierce. Oh, we got shots coming out from OneBlood. The Apocalyptomaniacs' Zeus is taken out of the equation, and that is going to be the last fight for him for the night, more than likely. All the while, we got members of, goodness gracious, and Neptune Esports. Oh, pardon me, that's not Neptune, that's the Fierce, having at it with members of Evolution Gaming. Tell you what, we're going to catch eyes. And we'll get this back on the alt cam here. Actually, no, we'll get it from the Fierce's perspective. Nope, he's out. Ooh, Lord Fick getting taken down in a distance knock from across the waterway, leaving it relying on Xeon, Kong, and Kenny. Zara doing some work on Belicon of Force Tijuana. And we've got so many bits of action going on right now that we just don't have time to hang out here. We're going to go check in on the Apocalyptomaniacs in this altercation with OneBlood. Zeus has been eliminated, leaving it relying on Wingless, Dark, and Noof. We got Dark cooking up some utilities, going to try to make it rain hellfire on the opposition of OneBlood. OneBlood dealing with multiple teams all at once here. All right, we're going to get both angles of this fight up on the screen. Powerless, the furthest back. Who is it that's closest? Oh, Powerless gets wrecked apart by Kong right there and then. Now we got Slayer holding position. He is the closest to members of the Axiom. There we have it. Quickly eliminated in a third party by members of Evolution Gaming. It's going to be Kenny. You're never safe in the dead of it. All right, Noof. Now all too aware of Evolution Gaming's location. Now look here, Hoist of 4 Dragons just holding position, still trying to carry on the name for the 4 Dragons as a solo, reliant very much on placement here. It's got 0 kills for the team in his name, and so realistically, I think he's got the right idea here. You know, getting those placement points are the best, most probable chance of getting the points needed to advance to the $450 finals. All right, where should we tune into? We're going to catch eyes on the Olympia Esports crew as their full 4-piece. Now look at this, 5 kills. Once they bring in a full team, they got 5 kills between 3 of their players and still a full 4-piece. Very strong position with members of the Fierce not too far off. Or pardon me, members of Third Eye not too far off. Same can be said about the last of the 4 Dragons to their south, Hoist. And, oop, we got some shots off in the distance. We're going to go catch eyes on it as Third Eye goes off against Control. Members of Third Eye, I should say. All right, Jat G preparing to face off alongside his teammate Peaceful and catch the Olympia Esports crew unawares. Peaceful utilizing the geographical cover does get Dixie very much off guard. The nade still raining down upon him, and EXO able to add on to the damage that nade started. All right, Jat G gonna try to save his fallen teammate. What else do we have going off in the distance? This is the closest thing to a fight by far. Tell you what, we'll get both angles of this on the screen. We can hear shots off in the distance. Tixie back up and about, preparing a utility aimed outwards at Control. We got Olympia Esports facing off against 2 teams at once, both Control and Third Eye. That's a risky fight to take on, but ooh, Jet out right in front of our eyes here, leaving it relying on Jadon and Peaceful. Jadon with those 4 walls of cover, a little too far away from his teammates to be of much immediate assistance. We got Apocalyptomaniacs having a tough go of it as well. One of their members taken down. As you can see, Jadon and Peaceful and Chief all pretty spread out here. here we go. Brave, about to have at it. Let's catch eyes. Ooh, the nades raining down on Banga, taking him down to about 1/4 of his overall health. Let's say 1/3 to be safe. Now 1/4. And immediately finished off there by Noof of the Apocalyptomaniacs. All right, Noof going to carry on as the final hope for his team. Going to have to leave his fallen teammate in the dead zone. Doesn't really have a choice there. But the Olympia esports crew facing off still against numerous teams. Pixie firing away at the opposition. Now aiming outwards at Evolution Gaming's Kenny. Not any damage dealt to Kenny himself, just the vehicle. All right, well, we're going to catch eyes on members of Sentinels. Sentinels also a full 4-piece at this stage with 15 people left spread across 5 teams. And this is where we approach the end game of our third and final round of my very own RedEyes $450 tournament qualifiers for Group B. Thank you guys so much for being here. Oh, Evolution getting a takedown on Third Eye right then and there. Look at this. Danny holding position against the oncoming threat of Sentinels. All the while, Tixie just holding the position in low ground grass, staying hidden as a sneaky little grass snake. All right, well, Sentinel's probably about to fire off against somebody there. Oh, Danny almost eliminated right before our eyes, but that boulder just barely saving his life. But is he aware of Sentinels coming up from the side? Boy, his moments seem all too numbered here. All right, Sentinels can work off in the distance as well. Oh, crap. Yep, well, that's going to be it for Fetty. That was pretty much to be expected there. XO actually going to be able to secure the revive, meaning that Fetty has a shot at coming back while Tixie provides an overwatch and cover fire, trying to enshroud his teammates in what little bits of cover he can, and also cover his way into the zone. They still are very much out of zone, ladies and gentlemen, with just open ground separating them from safety. It's going to be a very difficult obstacle or set of obstacles in their way before they're able to get into retaliate for Fetty being taken down once again. However, the Sentinel swarming upon him. And that is Tixie out of the equation. XO is the last hope and out as well. Guys, down to our final 3 teams. It's going to be the Apocalyptomaniacs, Evolution Gaming, and the last hope of the Apocalyptomaniacs, Evolution Gaming, and Sentinels, Reed Dog. And Reed Dog is out of it. And just like that, ladies and gents, that is got to be game over, and thus concluding the qualifiers for the day. But boy, what a day it's been. Evolution Gaming putting in the heavy work, doing their due diligent research and studying up on Sandhawk as they take that first place gold medal finish with 14 kills to their name. Very impressive. We got members of Sentinels in second with 5 kills, 2 of which came from Zara. The Apocalyptomaniacs in third with 5. Coming in fourth, it's going to be Olympia Esports, and that's going to be with, 12 kills to their name, 5 of which go to OXO. Third Eye in 5th place this time around with 4 kills, 3 of which came from Jadon. The 4 Dragons in 6th this time around, but with a big fat onion for kills. Brave in 7th place. They might be brave, but they don't have a lot of kills. Only 3 to their name. Not going to be enough, I don't think. But let's check in on Team Control in 8th place. They're going to be taking that with 6 kills, half of which go to Quit. We got One Blood in 9th place with 7. 5 of those kills between McCurry and Slayer. We got Force Tijuana securing 10th place, but with only 1 kill, and that's going to be from Vero. We got the Fierce as a 3-piece in 11th this time around. 0 kills to their name. AN1, anime number 1 in 12th with 3 kills. Zero Remorse in 13th this time around, but with 0 kills to their name. We got the Brawlin' Badness here coming in, I guess it's 14th place, but 0 kills to their name. Another tough match for the Rude Dudes, 15th with 1 kill from Bangu. Nucleotide Vendetta in 16th this time around with 0. And lastly, the -7 in 17th and last place with 0. Well, ladies and gents, it's been an absolute honor and pleasure getting to cast this event for you guys today. I want to give a huge shout out to my amazing staff, Christy, Tiny, and Daya Asia, for all they do behind the scenes, and as well to our phenomenally amazing sponsors, Hunter of Gunmen and Glacier Gaming, who seriously, they put this up out of their own pockets, and sometimes they don't even participate in the finals. You know, they do this literally out of the selflessness of their hearts and do it so it's there for the community. So if you appreciate this event at all, be sure to go let them know how thankful that you are that they are willing to do something like that for the NA region. These kinds of events are few and far between, so we want to hold on to them as best as possible. So huge shout out to them. Now, with that being said, we are going to be coming at you 1 week from today. That's going to be May 28th, Sunday, May 28th, 1 week from today at 8 o'clock p.m. EST for the Group C qualifiers. There is one more round of qualifiers ahead of us, only 20 more teams on the board to compete, and only 4 more will advance to join the advancers of this round and the previous round. And those 12 qualified participants will absolutely join at the $450 final event to face off against the 8 invited Tier 1 professional teams. That's going to be going down May 31st, Wednesday, May 31st. So I hope to count on you guys tuning in on the YouTube. That's youtube.com/@redeyes_official. Anyone can register for these events at discord.gg/redeyes. With that being said, I don't want to waste too much of y'all's time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you all have a great night. Have fun, be safe, and be kind to one another. GG's. Oh my goodness, did I almost forget? I almost forgot, ladies and gentlemen. Very close. UC code time. It is absolutely time to put them UC codes up on the screen. My apologies for almost forgetting, but this is a good reward for those of you who hung out past the normal time. It is time. The codes are up on the screen. Be sure to go to the link at the top of the YouTube feed and enter this code here for your chance to win the 600 UC. Only one person can claim it. So CJPQZDNZVSQ at the link provided at the top of the feed. All right, guys, have a great night. Have fun. Be safe. Be kind to one another. GG's.